I'm Robert Cardoza, and you're watching On the Street. This is the intersection of business and politics. This is where I take data from all over the country. I'm reading the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Huffington Post. I'm watching all of the shows, whether it be on Fox or MSNBC, ABC. I'm looking at everything. I'm throwing it into a funnel, see what comes out, so I can give you an unbiased, nonpartisan position of how I'm analyzing those facts. But right now, I am really excited to welcome aboard James Conaway. Now, James Conaway is the founder and CEO of Conaway & Conaway. They are strategic planners. You know, you've heard me talk about you wouldn't build a house without a blueprint. You wouldn't build a business without a business plan. Well, you can't build a future without a financial plan. And so with that, Jim, I want to welcome you aboard. Thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you for having me, Robert. I appreciate it.
You know, let's talk about strategic planning for a little bit. You know, you heard me start off by saying that you would not build a house or build a business without some kind of a plan in writing. And I know that your company is an international company, and you've got clients all over the United States and in a number of countries. And so they deal with you trying to get their questions answered. So when someone calls you, do they know what they're even looking for?
Typically, all they know is that they have a lack of clarity around their money and their wealth. They have a discomfort. They have a sense that everything is not coordinated and not worked out in its best fashion. That's usually where people are at. And so what they want to do when they have a conversation with us is develop some clarity around what it is they're actually after. Why are they doing what they're doing? Why are they saving and investing and doing all the things that they should be doing for their future? So the first thing we want to do is create clarity of where we're going to go. And I like talking about vacations. Most people spend more time planning their vacations than they do planning their retirement.
Is that wrong?
Well, it is and it isn't. You know, an unaimed arrow will always hit its mark. So if you don't plan your future, it will be whatever it is.
So let's talk about planning for a minute. So let's bring that down to earth so that people can relate to it. Let's just say that I'm in business and I have been haphazardly growing. Things are doing well, but other than building the business, I really haven't got much of a clue about how to save for my business and save for my retirement and do those kinds of things. And so I call a strategic planner, Conaway & Conaway,
Yep.
And I come in and I'm assuming the first thing I'm going to do is either fill out some kind of a questionnaire or I'm going to be in an interview.
Both, actually. We have to have at least some basis of understanding where the questions need to go. So there's usually an intake form, and it's like 2 pages long. It's a generic little thing. It sort of just talks a little bit about who you are and what's going on. Typically, the business owners are very, very good at widgets, and they're only so-so at the rest of what's going on with their finances. So what we'll do is we end up with a whole lot of good ideas at the time, but nothing is planned or coordinated with one another.
Nothing set in concrete.
Nothing set in concrete, and nothing coordinated with their other advisors. That's really amazing to me. I mean, think about this. You and I would have a conversation about, let's say, Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Johnson's got a successful business and things are going well for him, but he wants to invest. Do you think his taxes would have an impact?
Absolutely.
Think about that for just a minute. Most people do not have their financial people talking with their tax people, talking with their legal people, so everything sort of orbits on its own. Is that a recipe for disaster?
It absolutely is. And so does a strategic planner bring this group together?
Absolutely. That's one of our skill sets, is making sure the team actually works as a team. Using the sports analogy, think of our purpose as the strategic part, being like the coach, getting the offense and the defense to work towards a common goal.
So let me ask you. So when I first walk into your office, are you going to ask me, you're obviously going to ask me where I'm at, but are you going to ask me, hey, what are your goals? Do you want to retire at what age? Do you want to travel a great deal? Are you trying to send a kid to college? Or you want to buy that new Maserati? Basically, you want to find out what my goals are, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. We start with your passions. What lights you up? Now, see, Bob, I happen to know you. I know that your grandchildren are the apples of your eye. And so I would have an in-depth conversation about your grandkids. What do they mean to you? And what do you want to do with them? How do you want to communicate with them? What kind of a legacy do you want to leave for those grandkids?
Oh, what a great term. What kind of a legacy do you want to leave? And and you're right. My grandchildren rank right up there with oxygen for me. They are everything to me. And it's unconditional love you get from them, so you want to plan for them, right?
Absolutely.
So once you get an idea, and I'm assuming at some point you're going to say, okay, Bob, you've been in here for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, you've given me a lot of data. I need you to provide me with some documents.
Oh, yeah.
And then what I would like to do is to analyze those documents and have you come back because I want to formulate some kind of a plan. Is that about how it's going to go?
That's exactly how it's going to go. In fact, one of the things that we talk with our clients about is that they have to be prepared to make a commitment of time because it takes time to get all those documents. Now, to make things easier, I am very functional with the shoebox approach to life. Just throw it in there.
You're talking to an accountant. I've seen more shoe boxes than Tom McCann has.
Exactly. But you know what? The information's in there, and we have such facility with sorting that stuff out. Just bring in the shoebox. We'll work it out. We'll get you to your goals. That's the purpose.
When we come back, we're gonna continue this interview, and I want to ask you, what kind of documents you would want. I have an idea, but what kind of documents you would like to have provided to you so that you can do this analysis, and what the process is. Whether it's you and your staff in a think tank situation where you're saying, well, he's got this, but he should have this, or he should diversify that, or he should get involved here where he's not involved at all. So far, he hasn't. He wants to retire, but so far all he's got is Social Security. That isn't going to cut it. And so I would love to get into those kinds of conversations with you and have you think about that a little bit. I want to remind everybody that I'm here with James Conaway. And James, give me a phone number for your office.
Why, thank you. 888-266-2929.
And the website?
The website is Conaway and Conaway.com. That's CONAWAYAND, Conaway.com.
That's perfect. I want to remind everybody, you're watching On the Street. This is the intersection of business and politics. I'm talking to James Conaway, the founder and CEO of Conaway and Conaway. If you're looking for a strategic planner, whether it be for your business, for your personal life, or for both, you just can't do better than Conaway and Conaway. Remember, you're hearing it right here on the street, the intersection of business and politics. I take everything, throw it into a funnel, and give you the honest-to-God truth whether you like it or not, right here on the street. I'm Robert Cardoza.